Yeah, I got some new equipment, so I'm just kind of learning how it's all gonna work.
Okay, I hear you. Is it okay to smoke? It's okay to smoke on the show?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, nice. I like the mic, bro.
Yeah. All right. So this is that King's with Mr. Mumbles. What we are doing on the show here is we like to give spotlights to people from different genres, mostly in the entertainment field. They're business owners as well that are putting in work, making the industry better. People that I know and I'm interested in, and I just share those to the other people. Um, One of the first things that I usually do in the interview is, even though I do know you, I give you yourself a chance to give an introduction. This is a man that wears many hats. I've
Mhm.
known him and known of him for many years, doing different things from music videos, promotions. He's done everything. You know, y'all hear me yell East 905. He's from the East, so you got to give love to the block. So, Dan Barker, introduce yourself to the people and let them know who you are.
All right, I appreciate that respect, man. Mr. Mumbles, like you said, been in the game a long time. I've known Mr. Mumbles for a long time, man. We go way back now, back to the Barry days, throwing some events out there, and other spots. I believe we ran into each other in Toronto and stuff like that. But basically myself, I started up as a beatboxer, then turned hip hop artist. I started my own label when I was young, Lost Soul Records. Was part of a hip hop group, was part of the beginning of like the 90 Nickel Entertainment with Peter Jackson and all that when that started off. Was part of the first events and all that kind of thing. So I've been doing events for a very long time in the hip hop scene. A lot of started out in the East, and then now we've migrated to not only Toronto and then all over Canada and all over Ontario especially. But that's with the event stuff, right? Basically I evolved eventually into doing music videos, right? And for the last 10 plus years, I've been doing that professionally under Captured Films and been able to work with a lot of celebrities and a lot of local talent, especially more so local talent than even celebrities. But a lot of people know me for the work I've done for with celebrities and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily like to kind of write off that. At the end of the day, the local scene is what I've always been part of. I always give back to, and has helped me become a successful entrepreneur, right? So above that, a lot of many other things, but I don't want to waste anybody's time. You guys could always hit me up and we could chat more. Obviously, more lately I got into the more corporate side of things, where I launched a new business where I'm now doing social media takeovers and helping businesses with their social media content creation and posting and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man.
So, um, would that be right now what you'd say would be your main thing in the industry there, the content one, or is it the music videos? What would you say like your main
Well,
or your
right,
priority
like
is?
like currently, right this very moment, I have a Canada-wide tour booked with Connect the Dot. That's my company, Connect the Dot.
Yeah.
Me, Mike Guts, Specs Don, obviously, that's like the founders. That's we're the owners of Connect the Dot. And we got Young Stitch on that. We got obviously Vincy Prince and Dre Specs. OG, part of the Connect the Dot as well, part of the team. But yeah, so I've got the tour going on. I've got my business where I'm helping businesses, and I'm nonstop shooting music videos, about 5 to 10 a month, depending on busy season's about to come up, so I'll be shooting a lot more in the next coming months.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, a little bit of everything still, right? It's just being able to juggle it all and make it all work, right? And that's what I've been able to do. So
So how do so what how do you juggle it all and stuff? And what do you think? Is it do you have like just great time management? Do you have a good team behind you? Is it like, what makes it possible to juggle it all?
Well, I think you know, first of all, like my wifey is number one supporter. She does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Like she does my accounting, she does like my website stuff. She, you know, she takes on a lot of load of that stuff. You know, I've got editors when it comes to like content creation side of things, right? And then when it comes to events, you know, I've been able to build a big team of, you know, people that are promoters and put on promoters and help people build their businesses, become promoters. But when it comes to my personal workflow, you know, a big thing that I would say is scheduling, right? Like you said, time management, right? So, you know, making those work blocks and then your family blocks, but making sure that when you're in your work blocks, you're working. And when you're in your personal blocks, you're personal, and you're not on your phone, and you're not doing this, and you're in the zone, in the personal, right? And I feel like I've only more recently became able to do that. And that's what I think has helped me now be able to evolve and juggle all this stuff the way that I am now.
Okay. Um, do you still make music at all?
Here and there, I'll dabble a little bit, but not really. Like it's definitely inside me to do it. Like I'd love to come out and just, you know, make an album, or, you know, I've definitely been talking about making a nice single and trying to get a plaque, or try to get it,
Yeah,
like, you know, do something big, right? But man, it's just tough to commit to being an artist.
the time, with you doing all of those other things, you start noticing that, because I'm gotten older, so I'm getting back to doing music, but more just as a passion, artistic, want to be creative
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And yeah, it does um show you like what we took advantage, what we took for granted as kids, of just having that time to be able to
Hmm.
just sit down and creatively write and that kind of stuff you don't really have anymore.
Extra time, yeah, I know what you mean. And
And
especially
yeah,
when I've taken it on as a business to be creative in other ways. Like I consider myself still an artist, right? Like when it comes to the video side of things.
yeah.
Like that's where I like to express myself. And I'll be honest with you, like a long time ago, like when I used to rap, like I kind of made the decision myself, like, you know what, like is this realistic? Like, am I gonna blow? You know what I mean? But it's like, then I realized like I wasn't really making music for that. I just really like making music. Like
Hmm.
I like doing the shows, like the crowd reactions and like people rapping my music or whatever. Like that's what I liked about it, right? Like it wasn't so I realized that being a service provider in the game and being like part of the infrastructure was more important than, you know, being an artist myself. Even like I trumped that over because I started hip hop GTA back in the day, and I was doing the video magazine thing, and that was like my main thing because I saw the Smack DVDs and everything that was going on in New York and everything, and I was like, yo, like shit, why don't we have stuff like that here, right? So like at a young age, I realized that the infrastructure wasn't really here for like Toronto hip hop, or like, you know, for us it was always Durham hip hop, East, you know,
Yeah.
East 905, right? But you know, we always wanted to be part of the Toronto scene, right? Like
Yeah.
that was always like part of the plan.
So, what do you think with the stuff that you're doing and stuff, the videos, and what is the most difficult part of it that with what you do?
With music videos or just like everything?
With everything and stuff, like, just but entailed with the industry, like, whether
I'd
it's
say I'd say that the hardest part is this is getting people to believe in the dream. Like, you know, everybody has their own dream, they have their own thing, and that's okay. Like, you know, and everyone should have their own thing, right? And have their own brand, have their own
Mhm.
business registered, incorporation, everything, right? But at the same time, it's like people got to come together. And you know, for example, like King of the Dot, right? You know, is always been one of my favorite, you know, platforms. And you know, organic, I've always like loved what he was able to do and build and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? With King of the Dot. But it like, if you look behind that, it was such a big team and such a big bunch of people that committed to the dream. They didn't
Mm.
care about their own little personal egos per se. And I'm sure maybe that did happen behind the scenes, but it didn't really come out in the program. You know what I mean? It didn't come out in the material or like the energy or anything. So
Yeah.
like I feel like that right now, and not that like I have a team, but it's like to get a strong team of winners, right? It's tough to get all the winners on the same page on one project. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely does.
It's like assembling the Avengers, you know? It's like, well, everybody wants to get paid. And it's like, okay, we get that, but you know, we got to come to some sort of, you know, mutual, right, agreement where it's like, okay, listen, these are the platforms that make sense. They're really actually, you know, genuine. They're putting on for like the good MCs, the good music that's from Toronto or from Canada in general, and shining it the right way. And like it's like if the right artists get involved with it, like for example, like Connect the Dot, which is why I feel like Connect the Dot is, even though we're only like 8 years deep, you know what I mean? It's like we still have a lot of years to go before we can really call ourselves that, right? But like I feel like we have the potential to do something like that with, and I feel like there's other stuff out there too that's getting there. You know what I mean? Like it's Toronto, I feel like it's, you know, has, or not just Toronto though, like Canada in general, like so much potential, like with the
Yeah.
shows and, you know, like just everything, man. Like it's just such a thriving thing. Like, you know, the eye is on Canada, the eye is on Toronto, and it's like now is the time more than ever.
So, do you who do you like? Who do you check for in Toronto and stuff? And are you like are you really checking for like some of the new music or because
Yeah, kind
yeah.
of. Like I mean, I'm an old head at heart, like in terms of music, right? When it comes to what I like to listen to. So I like my playlist is kind of lame, you know what I mean? But
Mm,
like when it comes to like me like being, you know, running my own podcast and doing shows and, you know, just being part of that whole thing, and like I said, trying to be part of the infrastructure, it's like you kind of really have to study the game and know what's going on at all times. So I make sure to like stay on top of all the relevant platforms and see who they're promoting and see who's popping and listen to their music, kind of give it a chance. And you know, a lot of it is like straight up trash, but you know, I really like, you know, Black at the Dawn, you know, I really like Pyrex. I
okay.
like, you know, obviously there's some East End cats like that are, you know, been doing their things for time. Like I could shout out everybody, right? Like there's so many good artists, right? But in terms of like the newer cats that are kind of popping or whatever, or kind of making like a little bit of a name and stuff, like Black of the Dawn for me is like he's someone I really rate and I kind of like tell people about and stuff. Like some of his stuff's a little gimmicky to some people, but it's the energy, it's the flow pattern, it's just like all that kind of stuff is like to me is like really helps represent what like Toronto sound should or could sound like in a
Mm,
sense, because it's like from the streets, but it's like party music too. Like it's not like that singy friggin' auto-tuney
yeah.
Airbnb fucking videos and all that kind of, like he's always creative with his videos, like he puts on a show, you know, he's an entertainer. So you know, that's one person, but you know, I you know, there's a lot of other people, but yeah, like you know, even Young Stitch, obviously, you know, obviously I gotta shout out Young Stitch because I feel like he's to me like another really good example of what, you know, Canadian music could, you know, be represented by, because
Definitely.
he's spitting that shit, like he's spitting some shit, and he's fucking, he's got the swag, he's got the style, like
And he's got some tunes and stuff like that. It's not all just super rapidy rap. There's
but he could go there if he wants to, like a Tory
yeah,
Lane, like if he needs to get there, he'll go there, right? But doesn't have to do it all the time, that kind of thing, right? Which is what I like about Blacka, you know. So
yeah. I interviewed Stitch on my channel. I had to. He's from Pickering, so you know.
sure, bro.
Like, so how do you connect with like the people and the artists and stuff that you work with? Does people just message you, or are you contacting people that you like? How do you usually like make your connections?
Yeah,
Or
so
how would somebody connect with you?
like most artists hit me up on Instagram, you know, a lot of people hit me up like Facebook, stuff like that. But you know, for them, like sometimes I'll reach out to some people, right? Like, you know, I definitely am one to reach out to certain people that I like their music. And, you know, I set up meetings with a lot of big people, and, you know, a lot, and you know, I never go in and try to offer free work or anything like that, or low ball or whatever. I always come in with the right prices and stuff like that, so they know I'm serious and that kind of thing.
Mm.
But you know, it's a tough game when it comes to that kind of stuff. But for me, like I talk to probably 100 to 200 people like within 24-hour period. Like, you know, my inbox is crazy. I respond a lot. I'm very responsive. I'm a very customer service oriented person. You know, always trying to deliver to my clients and making sure they're happy and stuff like that. So I think that and just referrals, right? Like everything for me is mainly referrals. I really ran my business off that.
Mm.
But you know, being, you know, you probably see me online a lot, just posting a lot about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That right there is the main thing that kind of gets me new clients that people are always hitting me up. But my prices are pretty high now, right? So I'm not that go-to guy for that cheap, quick hip hop video anymore, right?
You're doing
So
professional work and stuff, so.
yeah, I'm trying to do higher end stuff. I'm trying to push people to their limits, and you know, it's not for everybody, and I get that, right? But at the end of the day, I want to put out your best piece of work if I'm going to put on some work, right? And I work with a lot of people, and you know, some people hit me up, and I'll work out some deals and stuff. And you know, we do some. I still do like the, you know, the odd video where it's not like over the top all the time, right? So you know, I still get those in because, you know, not everybody has those crazy budgets. So I'm always willing to work with people, you know, if the music's right and the vibe is right and it's the right person, you know what I mean? Like I'll still do some shit.
So how did you start doing the music videos? Did you go to school for it, or you just your eye? Like, how did that work?
So I started doing music videos like when I was like 16 or so. And my first video was for Playboy Bandit. I don't know if you ever heard of Playboy Bandit. He's from the East End as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So my first music video was a video for him, and you know I was really young, and I just kind of I got a handy cam, like a Sony handy cam back in the day, and I edited on Windows Movie Maker, and you know from there I just I went in, I just kept doing videos, and that's when my hip hop magazine, the video magazine thing, and you know so I really I did it like I wasn't doing it for money, like no one paid me for it, like it
Yeah.
wasn't like that, you know. So it's just that's kind of how I started, bro, like to be honest. And like I'm 36 now, going on 36 now. So I was like
Oh,
16 years old. So I've been technically filming and in the music video stuff for about
20 years.
20 years, and to be honest 100% self-taught, YouTube stuff, tutorials, all that kind of stuff. But then eventually, you know, once I got really, you know, on the higher end of things, you know, I started really watching and being trained by, you know, professional people that, you know, did go to school for it and stuff like
Mm.
that. And, you know, they kind of taught me a lot of things that fast track things or just made my quality better and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Um, what kind of legacy or um would you want to leave in the scene and stuff like that? What would you want to be remembered for?
That's a good question, man. I've never really kind of really thought of it like that, to be honest with you. I don't know, man, to be real. I don't think for me the work that I do in the scene is like passion project, you know what I mean? And it's like I think if anything, I think I'd be able to connect the dots still running. And I think having that podcast and being able to keep that light burning, you know, someone being able to keep that rocking and rolling, and you know, community just using it to keep feeding back to the community, and you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
sort of thing. I feel like that's really it, you know. And you know, I gotta say, like, I'm not the number one best fucking video guy, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like that's not, I don't look at myself like that anyways. You know, some people might have a different opinion, or they might say, oh yeah, you're the top guy or this guy or whatever, right? But to me it's like, you know, I look up to a lot of people in the video game. You know, there's a lot of guys that I think are just absolutely insane. So I don't feel like as a video guy, I've really made my mark in the game yet to be like, oh yeah, he's got, you know, this or that. But again, like I feel like if on that note, like connect the dot, man, being able to keep that going would be something epic for sure.
Okay. So you've been doing this stuff for, well, the video for 20, so the music was before that. So it's been over 20 years there. What do you um what do you wish that you know now that you wish you could have told 60, 15, 16-year-old you?
I think just like incorporate a business early, and make sure you stay on top of that income and credit. Because, you know, had I done that at an earlier age, I could have put myself in a better position at a younger time in my life, right? So then I could have set myself up because I had kids early, right? Like my
Mm,
kid, I had my first kid at 21. I have 4 kids now, right? So like first kid at 21, you know, a lot of responsibility.
yeah.
You know, I wasn't set up perfectly at that time, bro. I was doing a lot of crazy shit at that time, you know what I mean? And once I had my kid, I tried my hardest to get out of a lot of stuff, you know, because a lot of things are crazy back then,
Yeah.
especially when you're that young and shit, you know? So I feel like, you know, that's probably the best advice I could have given myself is, you know what I mean? Like incorporate that company and just stick to it and put yourself on payroll and figure it out that way because, you know, that right there, again, as soon as you incorporate that business, you open up that lifeline and, you know, you can start establishing that credit and then, you know, you purchase some real estate and all that kind of stuff, right? So realistically in this world, bro, that's the play.
True, true, true. Um, do any of your kids do music?
So my oldest son, he's like, you know, recorded a couple of songs and stuff like that. He's messed around. He plays a little bit of this like piano and stuff. He's like learns how to make some beats and stuff. He actually started shooting music videos last year. He started his own little vlog series and stuff. He's really active in that. And then my daughter, she does like dance and she loves singing and everything. She's pretty young, but you
Mm,
know, she's definitely already getting active in that. And then my other son, you know, he wants to be a YouTuber. He's Mr. YouTuber, right?
mm,
And then my other son, he's just a baby, right? So who knows with him? But you know, all of them have been in ads and commercials already at a young age. You know, even you know, my oldest son, Kanan, he's about to be in a movie, you know, and some other stuff. And you know, I feel like he's gonna be the one that really goes into the music scene.
mm.
If and then maybe my daughter, she may do singing too. You never know, right? But they're definitely, you know, like there's always music on in the house. You know what I mean? We're definitely a music oriented family. Like my music catalog is pretty deep. It's pretty extensive, so the kids get it all. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. So let people know like where they can find you and stuff like that. Um, what are the best places, you know, because I know you have a lot of different stuff going on. So where like the best place to get in contact with you to like shoot a music video or get on one of your shows?
Yeah, man, anybody could always hit me up on Facebook or Instagram or like the main two platforms I'd say that I'm really rocking with. So at director Dan Barker on Instagram and Dan Barker on Facebook. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, yo, how long have you been doing what you're doing here with King's Court?
Um, probably about a year, like so let me see, we're in 2022, so the like middle of 2020, you know, with the pandemic and stuff going on.
Yeah,
Um, like I always, because I was always wanting to, but I didn't have the equipment, but I was just like, you know what, let me just start it. So I
hmm,
was mainly doing battle, because I was doing battle rap, I was in battle rap heavy and stuff like that, battling and helping with
yeah,
events and stuff.
right.
So I mainly started with the blogging about battle rap and just doing predictions and doing different things. And then as that went on and started looking into how podcasts are run and how video interviews are run, I just started to extend it. And then last year, because I started live streaming on this app Bigo and stuff like that.
Nice.
So I took about 6 months off, like doing stuff on YouTube and Twitch and whatever, just to get that foundation. And now that that's in place and whatever, I've decided you know, to reconnect with this stuff and just do the whole network. And you know, like I with me, it's I have certain connections of people that I know, um, and I have interests that I believe musically, entertainment wise, whatever, that I believe many people from our generation and stuff especially will be interested in.
Hmm.
So I just said, let me do it and see how it goes and just learn how it goes and, grow it
Right.
like that.
No, honestly, I can totally relate to that because that's what happened with us with the Connected Up podcast. Like it got to the point during the pandemic where it was like, hey, fuck, like I can't do shows, like videos was I was rocking with videos. I was traveling all over. I was killing
Mm,
videos. But like, there's always an itch in me to do an event. Like I'm like itching. Like my girl even says to me all the time, she's like, you're addicted. Like yeah, you're just addicted. Like you don't even like I don't do it for the money. Connected Dot actually like it's a non-for-profit now at this point.
yeah,
So every dollar we make off, we put back into it, right? So we launched the podcast, same kind of deal, like just trying to like put people on, like give people a little bit of, exposure and tell some stories and kind of thing. And so yeah, man, I can definitely relate to that. But back to the battle stuff. I noticed that you do talk to a lot of battlers and battles, and I know you do like that's actually I believe I met you. No, I think yeah, I met you and you were in a battle, I believe.
yeah,
And I think you actually were freestyling like off the
yeah.
top.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah, which was dope because you crushed the dude too, which was sick. But I wanted to ask you like, so how do you feel about the battle scene right now? Like I know you've been talking to a lot of battlers and stuff like that, and I'm seeing the events kind of starting to kind of like heat back up a little bit with like beast mode and like other battle leagues and stuff like that. But what do you think about the state of it right now?
It's hard. Right now, it's hard. Because like since the pandemic and things got locked down, like in general, like the battle scene in like especially Toronto right
Hmm.
now is almost dead. Like Beast
Yeah,
Mode had that one event and stuff, but there's there's no continuity, there's
hmm,
nobody. King of the Dot, they just did their season one type thing that they just finished, but
hmm,
all of their battles were in the States,
hmm,
different spots in the States and whatever.
hmm.
Like there's CRB, CRB, there, shout out Capital Rap Battles. They're in
Right.
Ottawa,
Hmm.
and I know they got an event coming up. Like
Nice. Yeah, they've been putting on.
they're the only thing in Canada right now that I
Mhm.
know that has
Same.
been putting on battles on a
Mhm.
regular basis. Like Beast Mode or King of the Dot or somebody new does need to come back to Toronto, the GTA or whatever, and
Mhm.
start holding some regular battles and some stuff, let some of these people develop themselves and that platform and
I feel
things
like
like
Gully the kid, he's been on vacation so long that he's like, maybe he's kind of just enjoying that, right? Like I know he had a kid and all that kind of stuff,
yeah,
so you know what I mean. I feel like maybe he set himself up nice, and maybe I feel like they'll be back though. I feel like even with those guys, it's like they just like man, you have to wait for things to kind of open back up, right? Like these
yeah,
guys are putting a lot of money into these events, and it's
yeah.
like it's
And
it's a
they
big
plan
risk
months
where
ahead.
yeah.
You don't want to plan an event months ahead and then boom and back to a shutdown and stuff.
Yeah,
So
and then
I
like
understand, but
and
yeah,
like doing the events in the States is the safest bet because one, like the higher ticket artists per se, battlers are out there, and like in the States, it's like a free for all. They don't give a shit over there right now with the
yeah.
pandemic shit.
And
But
when they were
I
doing it,
think
if you have what they were doing was if you have like, 'cause I know like Joey Gambello, he was in their tournament and stuff. Like if you're a person that legally is able to travel
mm,
and stuff, it was easier to take the 1-2 Canadians and bring them over to the States
mm,
and let them battle
hmm
than for
than to
you
do
to
it here.
try to bring anybody from the States up
Yeah,
here to
good luck.
battle.
Good luck. Yeah, no, that's a good point, actually. That's a very good point. Yeah. And what I was gonna ask you is, I got a couple questions for you, just in terms of
All
the
right.
battle stuff. Is mainly is just the main one was who is your favorite battler, like Canadian, let's say, but maybe not even Canadian, but King of the Dot, like Canada battles, like.
Um, favorite, like I think the best battler out of Canada has been for the last 10 15 years been Pat Stay.
Mm,
like no question.
That's crazy. Yo, then
Like
me and you gotta have a conversation real quick then, because
Sharon,
that's my
like
guy. Sharon's my guy.
I have an interview
I know, I
with
seen
him
that.
up here, like Sharon, like, and if you did invite, like I tell him, like I was at
Blackout.
Sharon's, like I was at Sharon's like second battle at King of the Dot and stuff
Oh,
like
nice.
that.
Oh, sick.
Like you'll see him in the Concrete Gorilla shirt and stuff like that. Cause that, Concrete Gorilla is my boy and whatever.
Hmm.
And from then I was like, yo, this kid's gonna be like the future of Canadian battle rap, because
Yeah.
like at that time I knew it because I'm like, he's 16. His writing is kiddish, but it's going to develop, it's going to grow. There's nobody that could freestyle on his level. So I'm like,
Yeah, the
when you
rebuttal.
have that base, that foundation,
His rebuttal game from down there, from day one was insane.
crazy. So I'm like, his foundation is too strong. Because that freestyle is incredible. His writing's only gonna get better.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's
So did you see the battle though? Like, did you see the Pat Stay versus Sharon battle?
yeah.
Okay. So were you there?
No, I didn't go for
Okay,
that one.
I was at the event. I was at the event. Now, I think he got robbed, bro. I think Sharon got robbed. That's just my opinion. Like, like, man, Sharon did everything right that entire battle. And Pat Stay, he's just so swaggy,
Yeah.
right? Like, and it's just
Mhm.
like he outswagged him, cool. But Sharon, like, he battled that motherfucker and beat him. Like, that's how I felt. Like, and the energy in the room said the same thing. And everyone was like, what? Like when the decision was made. That's why I was like, yo, what? What did you think about that battle though? Do you remember it?
It's just Patch Day is, especially on a judged thing, he's one of the hardest people to go around because
Yeah.
like he's very well rounded, and he doesn't really have any he doesn't really have any weaknesses. He's very well rounded.
He's got some corny shit though.
He doesn't try to overstreet
True.
you. Like he'll joke with you, like
But he corns out on you. Like he overly corns out on people. Like, and it's like and I get it, and he can do it. He pulls it off. But it's like it's almost like he corns out so hard that he makes Sharon look like hard. Like,
mm,
and like Sharon has those wow factor bars. Like he knows how to read a room and spit the bars that's gonna wow the crowd and like
yeah,
that people are gonna fuck with at that exact time. Right. And he said all the right shit. And like even with the hollow hand thing, with like that whole thing that happened before and then the way he flipped that on him and shit,
yeah.
like it was a no-brainer to me. I was like, how could you not say that Sharon won that battle? That's just how I felt. I felt he got robbed, bro, blind. Not to say that Pat Stay is not an amazing battle rapper. Like it was very close, but I felt like Sharon just had those extra factors. But
And
anyways, I thought I'd bring that up because I seen that Sharon was on your show, and then also you just mentioned that Pat Stay was your favorite battle rapper, so I just
yeah,
thought that was funny. But yeah,
like
definitely comparable. I mean, it's hard. You could definitely say Pat
it's
Stay is better. Guy's a giant too.
the that's the difference, is that one of the things that Patch Day will always have over Sharon,
Hmm.
that you because you can't, is his image and his presence
Correct.
and stuff. Patch Day's like, it's like the high school, and Patch Day's like
The quarterback.
the cool kid that everybody wants to be around and hang
Yeah.
around and da 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 da.
Okay, I see what you.
And Sharon's like the nerdy kid that no one paid attention to, but somehow is like amazing.
That's why I think it's because like I like the underdog. Maybe that's
Mm,
why. I don't know. Maybe that's
yeah,
what it
like
is. But Sharon, yo, honestly, kudos to both of those guys, though. You know what I mean? Like they both are just like, in terms of like representing Canada and like, I mean, just people in
yeah,
general, right? Like Sharon, especially, man, guys, are absolute like an inspiration, right? Like to just kind of show you to like, go out there and get it, like posting up, like calling out, Nick Cannon and getting his support system behind him, the way he marketed that and everything, got himself into position and been able to hold on to it for this long, capitalize on the opportunity, And you know, Pat stayed with his battle career and everything he's done, and you know what I mean, even out of battle rap scene, you
Yeah.
know what I mean. So yeah, man, some dope Canadian talent right there.
There's definitely I remember there's always been dope Canadian talent. It's funny when you were in the beginning of the conversation when you were talking about how what hit you is like the lack of infrastructure
Yeah,
and stuff like that, which I totally agree. Like I used to tell people like that's what we were missing, like the labels, the thing, because I'm like, I go, like one of the things I used to tell people, I'm like, we have our Jay-Z's and our Biggies here.
right.
We don't have Damon Dashes and Puffies. We don't have like that's the thing. Like we have like talent wise some
Hmm.
of the greatest artists. Like I remember like early 2000, like when I was doing music, I'd be like this is how bad it was. I'm like, if right now a genie came to me and said, you can sign to any Canadian label you want and I'll make it so.
Yeah,
I don't know if I don't know what like there's there's no there's no okay if we get there, you know, we can make it. We can like yeah, there like you know, there's like all the behind the scenes that build up an artist that might not normally get shine. That was what Toronto's missing. Like we didn't really have any like um business managers and stuff like that.
true.
You know, we only had a couple of like real serious music video directors and stuff, you know, like
For sure. And I think it kind of goes a little bit back to the crab in the bucket mentality, obviously, where, you know, the ego thing where everybody wants their own little thing, but nobody
yeah,
wants to like conglomerate together type of deal. And, you know, we had little hints of it back in the day. And, you know, little things are happening here and there. But I mean, right now we finally do have one, which is Drake, right?
mm,
Like that's like that is our very first one, I would say, you know. I
yeah,
feel like Cardinal Official could have done that.
yeah.
Like he kind of tried like a
He
bit.
kind of did like and like until Drake did what he did, and I guess
Mhm.
you could say Tory Lanez now,
Almost
and
Torian.
you know, Cardinal was the standard of what we, you know, that was a level of success that
Hmm.
we thought was possible. Okay, they know about us in the States. You know, that was big
Like
enough. Like
chaos
your
and
video on BT.
Socrates and like so that's why I really mess with socks, right? Like Socrates, like being part of Connect the Dot. That's why it's so essential to the program, and
Yeah,
that's why we reached out to him a while back because you know and you know he's real close ties with Cardinal Official as well, and you know we are planning to reach out to Cardinal and get him involved and all this kind of stuff when we get to the next level here with Connect the Dot.
yeah,
But I thought like for me, it was essential to go all the way back to Socks before even trying to get to Cardinal Official, right? Because to me, Socrates was that because to get on like a Red Band album, right?
mm-hmm.
To me is like and not you didn't pay for it. Like Redman probably paid him a bag to get on or whatever the
Yeah,
case, right? And it's like to me that is like signs of even bigger than Cardinal because even though Cardinal became like the voice of Canada, he
mm,
wasn't necessarily internationally known until Akon, right?
yeah,
Whereas I felt like Socrates accomplished that by himself, like independently slash, you know, with chaos and this kind of stuff, then
yeah.
Redman. So that's why, like again, I always give Sox his props because you know, I feel like he was the kind of the start of the engine and he really inspired Cardinal Official to be
To
able
go,
to be Cardinal, like, you know what I mean? So it was
yeah,
like, he was the first step, like, okay, yo, we could do it. Like, look, I'm on a Redman album. The
yeah,
Cardinal was like, what, we can do it? Or, you know, Maxine. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but I feel like that happening really helped put a fire at that, in that era
definitely. He was like the
under all
first
those,
one. He was like, because they're all that same crew and stuff. He was like the
yeah.
first one to do it. Like I remember first starting to rap in the 90s, like in high school and whatever.
Mm,
And I had a cousin like who knew like more of what was going on. Like I never forget like in like I think it was like grade 10 or whatever. And he's like, if you're serious about this, then you've got to get with figure the speech. I'm like, what's that? And he's
mm,
like, that's the crew, Toronto, Socrates, this, and then I started like looking
happening.
around and finding out who was who. One of
Mm,
the guys from Figure the Speech, um, Julian or Lockjaw, we used to go to our school, and like, yeah, he was like the top rapper in our, like that
yeah,
was like, that's
that
when you
was
knew you
that the
had
bar was set
respect,
there.
is
That was like the bar. That was yeah.
when you got to battle him, you knew, okay, you were at least somebody. Like, I
Yeah.
remember I was in grade 9 and I was rhyming, and then he came up and he spit a rap, and it was so good that I just walked away. Like we were all having a cipher, and he spit a rap, and I was like, I just walked away. I was like, I don't even know what to say to that. Like,
Yo, you know what's crazy is I actually made this post the other day because you hitting me up about the podcast, and then me researching into it kind of reminded me that like I used to like crush battle rap back in the day. Like I used to crush it. And like freestyle off the top parties, a couple of events here and there. But I went to Pickering High School, right? And you know, a lot of people now like that are in the game came from Pickering High School, like even,
yeah,
you know, NBA
that's what
player
I went
to
to.
yeah, exactly. Well, exactly, right. I
Yeah.
went there for 1 year, you know, but
Mm.
you know, at the end of the day, when I was there, I was in, you know, in the same class as Boy Wonder. You know, I knew, you know, T minus, who, you
Yeah.
know, you know, a couple other people too. You know, even like Mike Holmes, aka Diesel, there that just won the Grammy. Like, you know, I knew him from Pickering High and stuff and whatnot. But you know, I went to the freestyle champion, or I went to the freestyle battle thing there that they had, and I won it. And it was crazy because the battle happened in the gym. It was like the first time they tried it. And like I got to like the semifinals, and then in the semifinals, whoever I was battling against like swore, and you weren't allowed to swear in the battle because it was in school, right? And the principal came up and was like, oh, this is your guys' warning and whatever, right? And then like it was my turn to battle or whatever. And then I don't remember what I said or whatever, but I dropped this bar or whatever, and all of a sudden the bleachers like cleared out, and like everybody went nuts. And all of a sudden the principal comes and like, "Oh, that's it! Like, oh, we're shutting it down." So he shut it down. He shut it down. He kicked us out, bro. And we had to go out into like the parking lot, and then we went out in the parking lot, and we finished it in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And I ended up beating the guy, and I won it. And like I got like a shirt and all this kind of shit, whatever. And the principal rolls up, and he's like, "You two come into the office." He comes in like this big crowd, and he got us in trouble. And she was like, "It's the worst principal ever, bro. Pickering High had the worst principal, dog. The guy's an asshole, bro."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a funny story. I thought
Those were
I'd
good times. Yeah, man. Like,
the freestyle battles in the cafeterias,
yeah, man. Like,
bro. That was the best, man. And I used to beatbox like at a high level. Like I was like copying Rozelle, like all Rozelle shit. Like I knew
oh
all
yeah.
his shit down to a T. And then I had like my own set that I'd perform at shows and shit. And like I used to like I was on house arrest for a while back in the day, and like I was fucking just beatboxing. I bought this little speaker, had a microphone, and I'd mess with the like the audio and stuff. And I became really good at it, like to the point like back when we, you know, you could get a Hotmail account, bro.
Yeah.
It was beatboxchamp@hotmail.com. That was my first email. Like I said, fuck rap. I said, fuck this. I was beatboxing, bro. I didn't give a shit about nothing else. It was just so cool to me, bro, beatboxing.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that's a lost art now. Like, it's not even like,
Yeah.
you don't need to because you could just run a beat off your phone. So why you don't need that anymore? We didn't
You
have
don't.
a beat
Yeah.
to run off the phone in the cafeteria.
Exactly. Like, it's a lost and a not appreciated like art. Like, that's the thing with technology. What
Advancing.
the kids got to worry about in for the coming generations is not losing the human art
Mm.
of, because now, yeah, there's programs and this and that that you can do everything with
Yeah,
and whatever,
bro.
but you
Oh,
need,
the
yeah, you
voices,
gotta,
the voices is nuts, bro. Like that, like the shit that people are doing with people's voices in the studio. It's like what's even going on anymore? Like this
yeah,
is just
you,
might as well be an AI robot. Just type it out and just fucking swing it. Like
you know that's gonna happen. So
it's already happening. So
yeah, like couple years you're the AI pop star.
right. So, but yeah, man,
Okay,
I totally hear that. But I appreciate you having me on your show and everything like
definitely,
that,
and I
bro.
appreciate you coming and even asking me questions there. So basically, what I'm going to do, I will send you the link. I'll have this up on my YouTube page by the end of the night there, just a couple of edits and whatever.
No worries.
And we'll definitely have that up for you there.
No problem, man. No, I appreciate your time and having me on again. And hopefully the show goes well and keeps progressing. And I definitely have some people that might be of interest to you to have on your show. I got a
Definitely.
lot
You
of
know,
artist clients that I'm working with. My guy, Milestone Music.
okay.
You definitely got to hit him up. You got to get O'Derek on. We got Crucifix from out west. If you're interested in talking to some artists from out west,
Yeah,
uh,
man. Like
yeah,
that's the
bro.
thing. Like especially like with the Canadian thing, like I'm a very much like local, like in any sport, like who's your favorite, whoever's my home team. It's Raptor. I'm very local on that. So yeah,
Mhm.
and being somebody who was trying to be an artist and going up and through it and understanding, I like to try to give even the little bit of shine that I can because I know
Yeah.
what it's like to be an artist and needing that. And
For sure, bro. That's why we need these platforms. That's why, again, like with the podcasting that I'm doing, like I put I don't want to say everybody and anybody, but like I don't want people to think like, oh, I gotta be at this level in order just to get like an interview. Like, no, man, like we need to have these kind of systems set up where, you know what I mean? Like I'll send you people, no problem. Like I got my homie Luke Garrett that's about to drop a video. Like he'll jump on here, no problem. Like, you know
that's
what I
what's
mean? I got guys running events in Toronto, all this kind of stuff. They're looking
yeah.
for this kind of stuff, right? So but yeah, again, man, I appreciate you and looking forward to the link. And I'll make sure that I share that around to the
All
peoples
right. Thank you very
and,
much. And
and
thank
I'll
you for
put
coming
people
up.
on.
And we'll definitely talk more, and do some more connection
Yeah,
there.
hit me up, man.
All
Anytime,
right.
bro. I'm an open book. I'm easy to talk to. Holler at me, brother.
All right. Thank you very much, man. You have a good
Respect,
one.
man. I appreciate you. Salute.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all. Sorry about the angle. There's certain stuff going on here of the camera. But yeah, that was my boy Dan Barker, Captured Films. We'll have the links to all of his social media. We will definitely let you know on how to connect with him. As you see, if you are an artist and you are looking to promote something, let me know. And we'll definitely have that there. Shout out to everybody showing the support. Make sure y'all check me out. Um, this is DatKingShh with Mr. Mumbles. We will be having a bunch of drops coming out this week. This is the relaunch. So thank y'all. As a supporter, make sure y'all go to www.askscents.com. That's ASKSCENTS.com. That's my family for real. Get yourself some candles, some products. Mums 905 as a code, and you can get a discount. Make sure y'all let them know I sent you. All right. Thank y'all. Everybody, y'all have a great day.